Welcome back to Morgan Dollar Mondays with Massabesic Gold and Silver. This week I have an upgrade to share with you all. It's also a bit of a fun coin, so I hope you stick around for that. I am Dean with Massabesic Gold and Silver. Thank you so much for choosing my channel today. Out of all the coin channels on YouTube, you decide to stop by and check out what I have to offer, and I hope you do enjoy it. And if you do like it, let me know in the comments. So here is my original 1904 New Orleans Mint Morgan silver dollar. This is really a beautiful dollar. Very, very weakly struck, though. You can see there at the center of the coin, it's quite flat there, right above Liberty's ear. But the luster, I really, really love. Really, really flashy luster. And of course, the color on this coin, I love the toning. I really have a hard time wanting to get rid of this coin, but maybe someday. But I really like this coin. But for the 1904 New Orleans, according to Bowers, the strike is usually average or a bit below average, although with some searching, sharp pieces can be found, and as he writes, the luster is usually attractive, in fact, especially so. And I think that is the case with this new coin, the upgraded coin. You can see how nice the luster is here on the whole coin, just really, really beautiful. And you'll notice there is a little bit of flatness here at the center of the coin, but nothing compared to the other coin that I have. And I would say that this is a fairly strongly struck coin, but there are some little things here I'm going to show you as the video goes on. So I hope you stick around and let me point out those interesting factors here on this coin. That's not on the label, but we'll get there. Bowers also writes that the 1904 is the last and also the most plentiful today of the big three former New Orleans Mint rarities that launched the Treasury release and the resultant pandemonium in November 1962, the others being the 1898 O and the marvelous and ultra-rare 1903 O. What he means by that is those three coins before the Treasury release was actually quite rare. There was not many out there. Just freezing it here so you can see how strong the strike is here. Just really nice. But after the Treasury release, these actually were no longer rare, these coins. They were quite common. Just going back to the old coin here, the other coin that I have, just to see how flat that really is there, how weakly struck this coin is compared to the new coin. But anyway, yeah, so it used to be pre-1962, if you wanted a 1904 it was very rare, considered more rare than the 1893S and such. It was pretty amazing how rare the coin was thought to be. Just looking at this coin, you can see it is quite nice, not too many contact marks, but check out the hair here. See how flat the hair is in right behind Liberty's neck? How flat that hair is. I'm going to freeze it again so you can see. Look at how flat the hair is there. There's very little detail on the hair. And this is a very nicely struck coin. Let's take a look at the reverse here. Again, you can see there's some flatness, kind of a strange look to it, even though this is a stronger struck coin compared to our other coin. What I'll do right now. Let's flip back. I'm going to put this down so you can see the other coin. This is the one in the A&A holder. This is my original coin. You can see that there's really no detail there on the eagle's chest feathers. But when we go back to the upgraded coin, there's a little bit more detail, but there's some kind of weird things going on this coin, and that's what I wanted to point out to you. Well, let's look first here at the die cracks that run along the top. And the reason why I'm pointing out the die cracks is, one, I like die cracks, and two, what happens is when the die cracks, the metal flow goes into those cracks, causing these raised lines that look like cracks, because they are, on the coin, but they're raised. They don't go into the coin. The cracks were into the die. And I'm pointing that out is because when the metal flows, when it goes into the die, it's raised. That's why all your devices are raised on a coin. The legends are raised because in the original dies, they're high. But look at these tail feathers, how two of them seem to be almost pressed down into the coin. They are lower than the rest of the details of the coin. Why is that? Well, to me, it's been struck through grease. Here is an example of a Morgan that has been struck through grease. You can see how all the details are flat because the die can't push into the metal, so the metal flow does not happen the same way. So this is an extreme example, obviously, and my example, I believe, is a minor example of struck through grease, but I believe that in those places on the die, there was just a hint of grease left that did not allow for the metal to flow into those areas. Specifically on the eagle's tail feathers here, and then on the obverse of this coin in Liberty's hair. So just a trace amount of grease, but enough to make sure that the details of the coin of the actual devices could not create that or allow that metal to flow into it. Hence why the hair by Liberty's neck here is flatter. It seems like it's almost worn, but it's not worn at all. Let's compare with our weakly struck coin. And when we compare, look at the hair by Liberty's neck on the weakly struck coin. Look how raised it is, how defined it is, and that's a weakly struck coin. So on this coin that has a stronger strike and is also a gem coin, that hair should have a lot of detail. CACG obviously says that this is a 65, a nice gem coin, but they do not put on the label that this was struck through grease. I believe it was struck through grease. Feel free to disagree or agree with me in the comments, but I'm like 99.9% sure that it was struck through grease because it just did not allow that the metal to flow correctly in the hair by Liberty's neck, and of course on the reverse in the two tail feathers of the eagle's tail feathers. Again, both coins are really beautiful. I really like the upgrade. I really like my original coin, especially with the color. Luster on both coins, I think, is phenomenal. But as Bowers pointed out, the luster is usually attractive, and in fact, especially so on the 1904 New Orleans Morgan silver dollar. The other thing I want to just point out here as we take a closer look at this coin is just how nice the fields are. But there is a slight die rotation, which I think is kind of interesting. It's just a slight one. It's within the tolerance. You can see here that the die rotations, they're often fairly common. The rotations of 5 to 10 degrees are fairly common and are within normal tolerance of the setting up of dies in the press. So this one just has a tiny, tiny little one, just a tiny one, I think. And in the Van Allen and Malice book, Van Allen actually shares a little bit more about die rotations. This one seems to have a little bit as well, just kind of going the other way. Nothing compared to the other one, but again, as they say in their book, it's within that tolerance. But Van Allen actually made the Rotaflip, and you can still buy these on on eBay. You can still buy the Rotaflips. And help you. It's a useful tool to decide to actually see how much of the degrees the rotation is. These are, like I said, very much in the tolerance, and the 1904 in their book as well. They talk about that it is actually very common to find die rotations, significant die rotations with the 1904 New Orleans Morgan silver dollar. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you keep coming back and checking out Morgan Dollar Mondays. It always makes me really happy. Go ahead and put in the comments what you think. See if you agree with me. And of course, until we meet again, stay safe and continue to enjoy.